regard to India, and we're doing it with regard to other things. And I put out a truth last night. You saw that. And I was the one that brought it up. I said they're only doing this. They're looking to, when they did what they did, I thought it was a beautiful ceremony. I thought it was very, very impressive. But I understood the reason they were doing it, and they were hoping I was watching, and I was watching. My relationship with all of them is very good. We're going to find out how good it is over the next week or two. I think that we helped China very much, as you know, when they talk about freedom. And I don't believe that, and maybe I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't believe that America, that the United States was acknowledged for helping China to gain its freedom. But perhaps that was just that was a sleight of hand. I mean, I was very surprised. I watched the speech last night. President Xi's a friend of mine, but I thought that the United States should have been mentioned last night during that speech because we helped China very, very much.
Do you think they should have invited you, Mr. President? Do you think they should have invited you? You've expressed many times your frustration and disappointment with Putin, but there's no action since you took your office. Don't you worry that...
How do you know there's no action?
But don't you worry... What actions did you take? I'm with Polish radio.
Okay. How do you know there's no action? Would you say that putting secondary sanctions on India, the largest purchaser outside of China, they're almost equal, would you say there was no action? That cost hundreds of billions of dollars to Russia. You call that no action? And I haven't done phase 2 yet or phase 3. But when you say there's no action, I think you ought to get yourself a new job, because if you remember, 2 weeks ago I said, if India buys, India's got big problems, and that's what happened. So don't tell me about that.
एक बार फिर भारत ने हर उम्मीद, हर अपेक्षा, हर आकलन से भी बेहतर प्रदर्शन किया है। एक तरफ जब दुनिया भर की इकोनॉमीज में चिंताएं हैं, आर्थिक स्वार्थ से पैदा हुई चुनौतियां हैं, उस माहौल में भारत ने 7.8% की ग्रोथ हासिल करके दिखाई है।
It's funny that you have people who work for a pro-business American administration accusing other people of doing business. Okay, that's really curious. But here's the point. If you have a problem buying oil from India, oil or refined products, don't buy it. Nobody forced you to buy it. I mean, but Europe buys, America buys. So you don't like it, don't buy it.
That's a good point. But at the same time, you've come out in public, and now things are that with the previous Biden administration, there was an understanding of sorts, or
no, there wasn't on the oil issue. Yeah, it was an understanding. There were a series of very explicit conversations.
If you could
very explicit conversations saying, look, we have no issues with your buying. Look, how did that whole price cap idea come? If the Europeans and the Americans, I mean, you can't say I object to your buying oil, but I have a price cap. The idea of a price cap is you accept that people buy that oil. So the fact that you devised the price cap meant that you accept that there's an oil trade going on with Russia. Otherwise you wouldn't need a price cap.
But that India's role in keeping the price stable, I was trying to...
Absolutely.
There were clear conversations on that?
In 2022, there was deep nervousness because oil prices went up. There was great nervousness, international nervousness about the price of oil. And there were a set of conversations with different people in the American administration at that time that if India wanted to buy Russian oil, that's fine by us because it will stabilize the price of oil. And by the way, after January, there were no conversations with the current administration saying don't do that.
And this never came up in any of the
No.
trade conversations? Never?
No.
Anybody ever asked you?
No, I wasn't doing the trade. But no, it's not. Look, our trade conversations pertain to our bilateral trade. Our trade conversations did not, the trade conversations did not go into.
But they are linking it, so they should have obviously.
Yeah, but, as I said, that was not the case. There were no discussions on this issue before their position was made public.
They've used the term national security tariff. We had Shashi Tharoor yesterday who called it sanctions. How do you look at national security tariff as just the way it has been framed and sort of pushing India in that?
Param, I'm not going to get into definitional debates. My point is a very clear point, which is that we are buying oil to stabilize the oil markets. Yes, it is in our national interest. We have never pretended otherwise, but we also say it is in global interest. And you call it what you will, I don't think that is the relevant point. I think the relevant point is that levying tariffs on a country for doing what it has been doing openly with, and which other countries continue to do in larger volumes than us, is, in our view, unfair and unjustified. Beyond that point, whether you call it this or that, I don't think makes a difference.